Sleep is by far the most important thing for ADHDers. Let's jump into it. So one of the big mistakes that I made for a very long time is I would not get enough sleep. I would get like 5, 6 hours of sleep in college, and then this kind of bled over into my first job as a process engineer at Procter and Gamble. So I realized I had a problem with sleep because I was falling asleep in meetings. I was falling asleep at just at work. Right, I fell asleep while driving, and I hit a sign, and I drove off the side of the road. Really scary. And at that point, I realized if I don't get proper sleep, not only am I going to get fired, but I'm probably also going to die, unfortunately. So it's really, really important to get really good sleep, not just because you're going to be constantly falling asleep, but think about it like a bank account, right? So if you don't get enough sleep, think about just going in extreme debt, right? You can, if you're in extreme debt, you're say $10,000 of debt, you can get a couple good sleeps in, but that means you're you might be 9,000 in debt or 8,000 in debt, but you're still in debt, right? When you're in debt, you're constantly going to be tired. You're not going to have willpower. It's a lot easier to procrastinate when you're exhausted all the time. And what I would bet a lot of people are constantly sleep deprived. They actually don't understand what it means to be in a sleep surplus because they're used to being in a sleep debt for years and years and years. So that is their normal. So in reality, if they fix their sleep, they would feel so much more awake, right? Like one thing that fallacy that a lot of people do is if I just stay up longer, then I have more hours awake. Yeah, let's think about it this way. If you stay awake but you're operating at 50% efficiency because you're tired, then you're basically going to be working, you're only going to get 4 hours of the day. Versus if you only work 4 hours, let's say 5 hours. If you only work 5 hours but you're at 100% efficiency, obviously you get more work done. So think about it that way. Being more awake allows you won't need naps. It allows you to work harder. It allows you to resist your impulses a lot more, and it stops you from procrastinating because it's a lot easier to procrastinate. The example I use is it's so easy to skip the gym after work because you're tired. Think about that, but for everything. Anytime you're trying to build a new habit, that takes energy. Anytime you're trying to pick up a new skill, that takes energy. Anytime you do something that you don't naturally do on autopilot requires energy. And the less energy you have, the harder it's going to be. So it's going to make it even harder to build new things.